What is critical to the United States of America in this day is whether or not we can believe our employees, whether or not our actual government exists, whether or not democracy is what we had in mind, what we thought it was, what it should be, what we intended it to be, what government could be, or not. And the end result is none of it exists, because our government has been overrun and overtaken by thieves and liars and criminal organizations which do not apply themselves to anything that is fundamentally for society's benefit. Every form of, you don't have any infrastructure to speak of that has been done, a big project here or there to say we did something. But there has been no infrastructure at all. I mean, there's really just nothing that construes or constructs a government, because the liars that claim that they're doing their job, which they're not, and the thieves which are stealing all the money are everywhere. And you can't do anything without some kind of manipulation or temptation or propaganda pointing you to let's just not deal with the truth. So the end result is that instead of believing that government doesn't work, you need to accept the idea that government cannot work. It cannot work because government, or our employees, the people that we hire to be a part of government, or particularly federal government or state government, doesn't matter. The state of Illinois is just as flawed as the federal government is, just as flawed as the courts are. Every part and every piece and everything about this United States has been ruined or overtaken by the criminal element, who says that we don't have to obey any rule, we don't have to obey any truth, there are no consequences for us because we are hidden under the blanket of university knows, under the blanket that we are the government, under the blanket of we are the experts, they are in charge of everything. And that allows them to be whatever they want to be, and they've chosen to be criminals. And the reason that our government, or this United States of America government, does not function, does not work, is because the end result is very simply that all the money has been stolen. And you hire someone, you elect someone to go to Washington and fix it, and what they're confronted with is, if you do not accept the fact that all of this is a lie, all of this is a price that we cannot pay, all of this will collapse into a pile of sewage that we cannot escape if you don't go along with the lie. That's the choice. If you go along with the lie, then you have to accept that everything that government does is a lie, because that's what they buy with their lies. And the end result is that the people that you hire, the people that believe that they can make a difference in Washington, fail to make a difference in Washington because there is no money left. They stole it all. They stole everything. They took away your resources. They took away your manufacturing. They took away the opportunity for you to have any business. They took away everything. And with COVID, they attacked the very foundations of whatever was left. Because now, having created the illusion of inflation, they have created a scenario where they can raise the price of anything and everything, and will raise the price of anything and everything that they want, so that you end up desperate and broke, gambling whatever is left in the hope that you could survive. But of course, nobody that gambles does. It's not a plan. It's just an escape route, and of course the escape route is plugged with all kinds of thieves and liars and traitors and backyard thugs that are going to steal from you, even if you manage to get something somewhere. They're going to steal it because that's what they do. So the end result is that it is not an American government that we have anymore. Hasn't been for 50 years when the universities took over it and gave themselves $1 million raise. and change society by creating the illusion that this is where the money is. It wasn't where the money was, it was where the thieves were. But everybody wanted to participate in the lie and the thief and destroy the nation itself so that they could become rich. And of course they just accepted that let the lies go on. Don't do nothing. Don't change nothing. I'm making great money for the first time in my life, and don't you do nothing, is what they actually said. That's what they said because they wanted the money. They wanted the claim to be a winner. They wanted all that. And the end result, of course, is that government failed because the end result is they have no money. And without money, of course, they can't make decisions that matter. So then there are no decisions to be made, because if you make a decision that actually investigates, the reality of the money, then the reality of the theft comes up. And of course, if they're identified as thieves, then of course the money is dead, and it's all a fantasy, and everything collapses into a pile because it has to, because there is no reality here. None at all. Except for the fact that thieves are in charge, and thieves are stealing as much as they want, and thieves are doing everything and anything that they want. And of course, who is the thief? And the answer to that is who has the diploma to be a leader. Where did the diploma come from? What is this new nobility that is required to have any job in leadership? And of course, the university is that diploma, or that nobility that says that we are the decision makers, we are the leaders, we are the everything. You can't do anything without a diploma, and you can't do anything with a diploma unless we, the group or the organization that controls the group, says that you can. So there is nothing left of the United States of America in real terms. It has been thrown away. You wanted to be rich, and you got the numbers to say, I'm rich. You got the numbers to say, I'm rich. They're worthless, and you knew they were worthless because you knew it was all a lie, because you knew this can't possibly be true. You knew it was a lie, and you wanted it anyway because you wanted what you wanted, and that's all that mattered. The fact that you threw away the future didn't matter at all to the people who were here, and of course it doesn't matter to the children that they have raised up, and it doesn't matter to their children that they're raising up. They want what they want, and that's all that they want, and they don't want nothing else. That's what they want. The end result, of course, is that the nation itself dies. It can't live on a lie. Not for, I didn't think you could live 50 years on it, but I was wrong. You did. And all the lies that led up to it. You can't have a government that runs on lies. And that's, of course, what the American government, or the American government is, and the reason it no longer functions. It's not a Republican thing, and it's not a Democrat thing. These are just contestants, and they're playing a game. They want what they want. That's what they want. They don't want what they don't want. And so sometimes the Republicans win because the game favors them a little bit, and sometimes the Democrats win because their game favors them a little bit. But all in all, it's a game, and it's nothing more than a game, and it's just a game. And as long as they didn't take too much, they were allowed to play their game. But now, of course, the end result is that you claim that you want to throw somebody out, you want to take back control over government, you want your government and your nation back, but of course you sold it. You sold it. You sold it to the thieves and the liars and the cheats and the traitors and the fantasy that, government is a god. You sold it to the delusion that you can let the children pay. We don't have to pay nothing, let the children pay. And you sold it to a dead world. You sold it to the idea that you have weapons of mass destruction which protect you, and they don't protect you at all. They're just going to eliminate you. They're going to exterminate you. Has not Putin been offering, he'll throw out a weapon of mass destruction for you? And of course, then if you hit him back with a weapon of mass destruction, the end result of that is there will be more weapons of mass destruction. And then, of course, we have all the biological weapons that are spread throughout the universities across this world. And any one of 1 million people can go and find that and wreck that and let a horrifying disease out, which has no vaccine, which has no ability to stop. It's just, whether nature will let it stop with the last few people or not. And of course, you're mutilating all of nature so that it doesn't have any clue about what it's doing, and you're creating, 80,000 or plus chemicals, and they're creating cancer for you, and so something that nature can't deal with. You are taking any pill that is suggested to you without regard to anything. Breathing in all kinds of stuff, letting noise pollution ruin your actual ability to survive each other. And all kinds of things are wrong. You cannot bring back the nation called the United States unless you accept that reality must return. That's the price of coming back to United States of America, a democracy that we actually own, a democracy that actually works for us. That is the price. There is no other price. You can't pay something else. You can't hide behind the corporate idea that the university is God or any of them. You can't let the courts decide the university is the expert. You can't decide that you believe. You can't believe. Fear instead the cost of every lie and every theft and every cheating, horrifying example of stupidity that ever existed, and it's all called university. The disease of the plague of human waste. Because the end result is that we exist because of truth. And there are about every lie that they can possibly conceive of, as is every threat that exists. It's all university born. 99.9% of it anyway. It's all university did this. And humanity changed that. The fact that you changed a lot of the health care, and you say how great we are. Now we don't have to cry as much. But the end result is that the human population has doubled in the past 50 years, and it will double again. Which means that, in 50 years from today, in 50 years, you will be looking at least 16 billion people on Earth. And of course, you cannot feed the people that there are today. And it says, well, that's why we have genetics. That's why we're going to mutilate food. That's why we're going to mutilate livestock. That's why. But of course, that's not going to work. And the end result is you have to have some discipline and order in your own lives. You have to have some respect for the limits and the boundaries of what this finite planet can survive. And of course, there is none of that. There is none of that. The universe has created trillions of tons of pollution and poison and lies and cheating and theft and everything that you can imagine, and almost all kinds of things that you cannot imagine. They are responsible for horrible, horrible things, including the complete destruction of democracy. Democracy means that we, the people, all have a say, that we govern ourselves by the laws that we create. And of course, that doesn't work for the university and none of the people in charge of our lives. They want, as history proves, has always been, they want every part and every piece and everything is their decision, and nobody gets to decide anything except for the claim of expert and the claim of the university is God and the claim of, they know everything. You can't have a say because they know everything, and you'll just be wrong and they won't be right. And media enforces that every day with everything that they ever did or do. You are to believe. in whatever the media tells you. And of course, the media believes they're right. Media believes they're right because the university tells them what to believe. And of course, the end result is only the very, very elite of university decide what is true and what is not true. You don't get, the average professor doesn't get to decide what is true. He gets to mimic, memorize, and repeat what someone else has told him to believe. So he believes this or she believes this and that and the other thing, and the end result is just a tiny few control all of it. They get to